You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television.
Welcome back to the desk. Both Pioneer soccer teams have been playing well this season, and here to break down everything on the pitch, we have Matt Goldman, Brian Montiel, Julia Menn, and AJ Tierney. Guys, we'll start off on the men's side of things. The Pioneers have been having a great start to their campaign. We'll start over with you, Matt. Who do you think is a player that will be an X factor in the remaining part of the season?
I'm going to go with Davide Zumuner. He has 5 goals this season, 2 assists, 22 shots, 8 of them being on goal. He's an absolute dog, and he's only a freshman. He's going to be here for 3 more years. The stats on the box score don't show what he does on the field. He's an absolute amazing player for the Pioneers.
Julia?
Well, I absolutely agree with you. Davide is certainly a good pick. And did you hear that he's been recently mentioned by in an article by this Italian institution called Fondazione Agnelli? Me personally, I'd go with Gianfranco Banca here, another Italian one, and that's not because I got to support the Italians, but because I think as a senior who started 17 matches out of 17 last season and already started 10 this year, he not only has the expertise but also the experience and the skills to be a good leader for the team. He's got this calm but still professional and ambitious attitude as a center mid that puts the team into a good position, and he will lead the team in the future, I guess.
Brian, we'll move it over to you here. Who's your X factor?
I got Matthew Escobar, 1 goal, 6 assists this season. AJ knows from the moment I saw him for the first time I talked about him, he is such a tough player. He's calm on the ball. He dictates the pace in the midfield. He doesn't really, there could be 3 players around him. He finds a way to get out of it. I just love the way he plays. So hopefully he can get more goals. I want him to step up his goal tally and be more aggressive, but he dictates the midfield very well.
Yeah, I mean, they need a player like him to have that great start into the second half of the season. But we will move it over to you, AJ. Who's your X factor?
My player is Jimmy Bruno, a defender, the captain of the team. I mean, he's one of those players, one of those captains that the team definitely looks for. I see him all the time in the dining hall. Shout out Jimmy. What's it called? Every time I see him, teammates always come around him. They come to him. It's not like he's one of those captains that has to force himself. They look for him to advice. I mean, the one game, one of his players, they got into a fight. One of the opposing players punched one of their guys, and he came in there and helped his team out. And I think he's one of those players who can definitely go on and help the team.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to keep it with the men's side of things here. They have won all their games in the non-conference play, but they have dropped the last 2 in NJAC play. Julia, I'll start over with you here. What do you think they need to do to get back in the swing of things?
Well, first of all, I agree with you. They certainly had an awesome start into the season. As head coach, Matt Heitman did an awesome job in recruiting this year. The team has got a perfect combination out of expertise and rookies, internationals and locals, so they do have a good roster to build on. And all they got to do now is trust their game plan. They need to keep the ball on the ground, trust their passing, because this is what led them to win their games in non-conference games and did lead to their good practices in preseason. So if the boys maintain the discipline and are not discouraged, they can come back, and I believe in them, and I think they just got to trust the plan. Yeah, trusting their game play is very important. Brian, I'll move it over to you.
I just say, just know who you are. This team are first in goals, first in assists in NJAC. They have 3rd in saves. I want to shout out Luka Misko and Ryu McKinney. Great goalkeepers for us this season. They've been undefeated for the first 10 games of the season. Had an 8-0 win against Brooklyn College. This is a good attacking team, and I just want them to know who they are. Just like Julia said, trust the game plan.
Yeah, really believing in yourself can really take you far. And I think if they can keep going with that mentality, then they'll have a good rest of the season. AJ?
I feel like they can use more communication with each other, like moving the ball forward more instead of passing it more back. I feel like they have a great attack offense, and I think that, when they keep moving the ball forward, they got better shots at goal instead of moving it back and teams trying to get a fast breakaway and stuff. So I believe that, not only do they need communication, they need to also trust their game plan, trust themselves, not get lost, focus on the game, and keep moving forward.
Yeah. Goldie?
I was going to say you got to regroup and move on. You put the bad games behind you. You're not going to win by having that in your head. It's easier said than done. But these guys, listen, they're undefeated in their non-conference slate. They're a really good team. Just put it behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to switch things over to the women's side of things. They have won or tied the last 6 of their 7 games AJ, I'll move it over to you. What is an important game for the Pioneers as they play the rest of the season all against NJAC opponents?
I think the most important game, and this goes for all sports, is Mount Clair State. Come on now, that's
Yeah.
like a rivalry with Willie P. We need to beat them. I mean, they don't like us, we don't like them. It's just the way it goes, and I think Mount Clair is definitely the time and definitely the game that they need to show and they need to win out.
Yeah. Goldie, AJ went with the Route 46 rivalry. Who are you going with?
I got to pick TCNJ. They've won 9 games this year, 2 ties. The big thing is 0 losses. They've allowed less than 1 goal per game, and their offense, they're only averaging around 1 to 2 goals a game, but they are gritty, they're fierce, they're competitive. It's going to be a great game. This is a statement win if we could pull it off.
Yep. Julia?
I'd go with the conference game against Keene on the October 19th because Keene has been ranked 2 positions higher than WP in the NJAC preseason poll, so it's certainly going to be a competitive game. But the girls tied last year and the Pioneers had a great start, so I think the girls can do it, and I trust them. I'll be there on this home game on October 19th.
Yeah. Brian?
Me personally, I got Rowan. Rowan, just
Yeah.
like, what you got?
TCNJ.
TCNJ,
Yeah.
my fault. Just like TCNJ, they're undefeated in NJAC. They have 9 points on the table. We are in 3rd currently, so I just think this is a big game to bring us within 1-2 range in the league table so we can have a good spot during the NJAC playoffs.
Yeah, Rowan is very a highly contested team, so the Pioneers have to, get that win against them to secure a spot in the NJAC. But but the women's team plays Rowan tomorrow. Matt, take us through last season's game against Rowan.
Absolutely. It was a 1-0 game. Where's the 10 saves for the Pioneers, 0 for Rowan. 23 shots for Rowan, 0 for the Pioneers, and we had 6 fouls. Rowan had 7. The next meeting is going to be on October 12th, 2024. I'm very excited for that game.
Yeah. Brian, we'll move it over to you first. How can the Pioneers execute that win against Rowan?
We just need to keep the defense up. We have one of the best goalkeepers in the league, Sarah Mantilla. I'm guessing that's how you say
Yeah,
it, but
that's how you say it.
she's a great player. She's really been keeping us in a lot of these games, but we want less shots on goal personally, so we want to keep the defense up. We keep the games close. We haven't really had a bad loss where there's been only one really bad loss, but we keep the games between 1-0, 2-0 ties. So we keep the games close, interesting. Let's just make that dictated counterattack so we can get those goals, and I just think we can pull this one off if we keep the defense up for sure.
Yeah, keeping the games close is key. AJ?
I feel like communication, of course, like with the men's team to the soccer team, the women's soccer team, I feel like communication is definitely key. I also think that trust in each other, trust each other when you're passing the ball, keep moving forward. I mean, defense is I agree with Brian, defense for the women's soccer team is nice. I can't complain, but I mean, defense doesn't always win games, and you got to keep moving, and offense, you got to play offense sometimes. So I think more offense will help them win this one.
Yeah. Goldie?
With the power of teamwork, you got to work as a team. No one has to play pure ball. You just pass the ball, execute the formation. That's how you win games.
Yeah. Julia?
Well, as you guys have gone with defense, I'll go with offense. I think the girls need to follow the momentum and use the home advantage that they have, use their numbers and finish the ball in front of the goal. They can do it. They just got to use the opportunities they are given.
Yeah. That is all we have for WP Soccer. We wish both teams luck tomorrow and as they finish their seasons. We are going to swing it over to the Diamond and talk the MLB playoffs next on WP TV.